There is a
Something is
conflict
happening that
unfolding
almost
inside
nobody
Iran
outside the
that
region
much
is
of the
watching.
world isn't watching.
Thousands of Kurdish...
It isn't dominating international headlines. It isn't leading nightly news broadcasts. But deep inside the rugged mountains of western Iran, armed clashes between Kurdish fighters and Iranian security forces have intensified once again. Over the past several weeks, reports from international media and regional monitoring organizations have described an increase in attacks, ambushes, and security operations across parts of Iran's Kurdish-majority provinces. So the question is simple. Why is this happening now? And could this become one of Iran's biggest internal security challenges in years? Today, we're taking a closer look at the history of this conflict, the groups involved, Iran's response, and what could happen next. The conflict between Kurdish armed groups and the Iranian government is not new. It has existed for decades. Since the 1979 Iranian Revolution, several Kurdish political and militant organizations have opposed Tehran's rule in western Iran. While periods of calm have come and gone, the conflict has never completely disappeared. Instead, it has repeatedly resurfaced during times of political tension and regional instability. According to recent reports, clashes have once again intensified in provinces including West Azerbaijan, Kurdistan Province, and Kermanshah. Both Iranian security forces and Kurdish fighters have reportedly suffered casualties. Although the exact numbers vary between different sources, independent organizations agree that the level of violence has increased compared to previous years. Many people assume there is only one Kurdish armed organization operating inside Iran. In reality, there are several. One of the best known is PJAK, the Free Life Party of Kurdistan. Founded in the early 2000s, PJAK has carried out armed operations against Iranian security forces and is considered a terrorist organization by Tehran.
Another important organization is the Democratic Party of Iranian Kurdistan, commonly known as the PDKI. Unlike PJAK, the PDKI has existed for decades and combines political activism with an armed wing. Kamala is another Kurdish political movement with a long history inside Iran. Although these organizations have different ideologies and leadership structures, they all operate in the same mountainous border region. Their knowledge of the terrain has long been one of their greatest military advantages. The Zagros Mountains stretch across western Iran for more than 1,500 kilometers. This landscape is filled with steep valleys, narrow roads, caves, and isolated villages. For conventional military forces, controlling every part of this region is extremely difficult. For guerrilla fighters, however, these mountains provide natural cover. Small groups can move quickly through terrain that larger military units struggle to monitor. Even with modern drones and surveillance systems, maintaining complete control over such a vast mountainous region is a significant challenge. This is one reason why the conflict has continued for so many years. Several factors appear to be contributing to the latest increase in violence. First, Iran has continued conducting security operations near its western border. Tehran says these operations are necessary to prevent militant attacks originating from bases across the border in northern Iraq. Kurdish organizations dispute this characterization and argue that repeated military pressure has increased tensions instead of reducing them. Second, the broader Middle East remains highly unstable. Regional conflicts, sanctions, and ongoing geopolitical tensions have increased pressure on Iran's security institutions. Finally, Kurdish political organizations have increased cooperation in recent years. Although they remain independent groups, closer coordination has raised concerns within Iran's security establishment. Iran has responded by increasing military deployments throughout western provinces. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, continues to lead many of these operations. The government has also relied on drones, intelligence gathering, and surveillance to monitor militant activity near the border. However, geography continues to present major challenges. Mountain warfare is among the most difficult forms of combat. Even advanced technology cannot completely eliminate the advantages enjoyed by local fighters who know the terrain. Military analysts generally agree that neither side is likely to achieve a decisive victory in the near future. Security experts believe there are three possible outcomes. The first is containment. Iran increases security operations and violence gradually decreases. The second is further escalation. If attacks become more frequent, Tehran may commit additional military resources to the region. The third possibility is continued low-level conflict. This has been the pattern for much of the past several decades. Periods of intense fighting are followed by temporary calm before tensions rise again. At this stage, there is no verified evidence that Kurdish armed groups control major Iranian cities or large areas of territory. Iran remains firmly in control of its state institutions. However, the renewed clashes demonstrate that Western Iran continues to present a significant internal security challenge. The headline asks whether thousands of Kurdish fighters have created Iran's biggest internal crisis. The reality is more complicated. What is clear is that the conflict has entered a new period of heightened activity. Armed clashes have increased. Iranian security forces remain engaged in ongoing operations, and the long-running Kurdish question continues to shape the security landscape of Western Iran. Whether this becomes a major turning point or another chapter in a decades-old conflict remains uncertain. But one thing is beyond doubt. The mountains of Western Iran remain one of the Middle East's most important and least understood conflict zones. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more in-depth analysis of geopolitics, military strategy, and international affairs, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next documentary.